Alright, bitches, so we're here for the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is episode 26. This episode is called Amidst the Crisis, a Shot at Victory Appears. Son Goku's counterattack begins. Okay, so this episode opens up with Frieza talking a lot of shit because Frieza has pretty decisively gained the upper hand. Frieza gives Goku the business a little bit. And it cuts over to the Peanut Gallery, and they're like, oh shit, Golden Frieza's so strong, we're fucked. And Beerus is like, no, this is not a problem. Frieza's stronger, but the second Vegeta jumps in, Frieza's fucked. And Whis basically explains, like, yeah, that's not something that these two are going to do. So then it cuts over to Goku and Frieza, and the fight is continuing on. And Frieza's continuing to give Goku the business. This is really, it's very, very one-sided. Frieza is fucking Goku up, but Goku has phenomenal endurance as he's taken a lot of really powerful blows. Then Frieza begins to have like a little bit of a flashback, and we see some of the previous scenes from the Namek and Frieza saga back in Dragon Ball Z. Frieza talks about how he already would have been the complete rule of the universe wasn't for Goku by now, and continues smacking Goku up quite a bit. Frieza then gets Goku in kind of like a powerful like hold where Goku goes in with one punch and Frieza catches it, and Goku goes in with his left arm for another punch and Frieza catches it with his tail. So Frieza has Goku kind of just hanging there helpless. And Frieza puts what looks like a decisive blast right into Goku's chest, unprotected. And the smoke clears, and Goku's okay. You know, he took some damage, but he's not done. He's still in the Super Saiyan Blue form. And already it looks like we're pushing towards the climax of the battle with Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan Blue Goku already. Which is a shame, because I do have to say, this fight was not long at all. I don't want to say it was rushed, because it pretty much has been exactly like the movie fight, whereas the Super Saiyan God Goku vs. Beerus fight was significantly different, and I would have to say much, much better outside of, remember that bullshit when they were fighting and it's like, oh no, the universe is exploding, they're too strong to be fighting. It's like, well, okay, so that's not going on here, like that garbage that they were talking about before. But that fight was updated and improved a lot over the movie, whereas this fight, this is basically the exact same fight as we saw in the movie. And I do have to say I'm a little surprised, because as of right now, it does look like the next episode is going to be the last episode of this arc. And, I mean, Frieza, if this is true, will not even have been around for 10 episodes, right? Like, that is a really, really short, like, time span for a villain there. In all of these shonen animes, I can't think of another run where, like, a main villain has shown up and gotten bossed this quickly, and, like, that's it. I mean, like, I'm thinking back to, like, Naruto, and it's like, I remember when they fought Hidan and Kakazu, that might have been a shade under 20 episodes, but still, that was like 15 or so at least. You know, Cell, Boo, and Frieza, the first run, they were all around for about 60 episodes each. I mean, I guess, unless you want to really, like, break it down for each form of Boo, how long they were around. But even if you're just gonna go, I wouldn't say that the different absorptions of Boo would count, you know, like Super Boo, Gotenks absorbed, or something like that. I would more go by Majin Buu, you know, Fat Boo essentially, Super Boo, and then Kid Boo. Each version, though, is around for at least 10 episodes. I believe Kid Boo's the villain for the shortest amount of time. I think he's got like 16 episodes or something like that. Maybe a little longer than that. But definitely a little surprised with how short Frieza is here. Hopefully, Frieza as a villain right here was never really a threat. Like, I never really got the feeling that Frieza was going to win at all. Like, it's like Goku and Vegeta are both there. They've both gone through this training. Beerus, I mean, Beerus was definitely much more of a threat, but as we could see, Beerus is not, he's not a villain per se. I don't think anti-hero, like what, Vegeta is mainly for most of Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Super, I think Vegeta is clearly a hero, not like an anti-hero type. But I would say Beerus is something different entirely, because, his job is destruction, and he looks like he's taken a liking to Goku, so he didn't blow up the planet. So just hopefully Dragon Ball Super is gonna give us a threat, but like a good threat, not like a bullshit threat. I want like something legit. Like, I don't want them to just pull a fucking rabbit out of a hat and be like, oh, the strongest fighter ever. Like, give us like a nice little setup and backstory to it, because if they can't bring out a real villain, then I would almost say Dragon Ball Super is a little bit of a waste. I mean, if you were just getting these movies, Resurrection of Frieza and Battle of the Gods, I mean, they were fine as a continuation of Dragon Ball. But they need to really, bunker down, get their asses in gear, and bring us a threatening and good villain here. Alright, at this point, Vegeta starts talking shit to Goku, kinda, and he's like, alright, listen up, Kakarot, if you're not gonna figure out, like, what's going on here, if you're not gonna notice this, I'm jumping in and I'm gonna finish this off. And Goku is kind of like, nani? And then, like, he kind of, like, sits there and thinks about it, and it looks like Goku gets it. And he's like, okay, Vegeta, just give me a little more time, I could take care of this. And, like, they have some funny dialogue. Of course, Frieza is, like, super, like, upset, like, oh, how dare you? And Goku's like, sorry, I know your weakness now, so it's time for me to go ahead and win this fight. So then they go ahead and jump in. Goku powers up. I gotta say, I really love, I already said this before, but the auras that they're giving us in Dragon Ball Super, both Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan Blue auras look pretty fucking dope. So then they begin fighting some more. It's actually pretty good, solid fight right here, this little fighting segment. The animation, again, in this episode is not the best, which it is very sad that, here we are. This is the pinnacle thus far of Dragon Ball Super, and this is not the best drawn episode by far, which, does disappoint me. Let's have the filler episodes be crap. Alright, so Frieza kind of gains the upper hand, but then you're starting to see that Frieza's attacks are not really dealing damage like they were at the start. Like, when the fight first started and Goku was taking shots, like, you could see, like, it was really taking a huge toll out of him. But now Frieza's attacks are not really having much of an effect on Goku until finally Frieza punches Goku straight on in the face and nothing happens. And Goku's like, alright, there it is. And explains to Frieza about how his weakness is because he achieved his Golden Frieza form during training and then immediately left to come to Earth. He didn't have time to kind of, perfect his form. His strength is rapidly draining from him because he's not used to the Golden Frieza form, which, this is a little bit of a play on what was going on at the beginning of the Cell saga and the Android saga, how, like, Goku and Vegeta and Trunks, they were kind of in a race to kind of perfect the Super Saiyan form, because it, is such a significant drain on their energy, and the actual transformation requires a lot of energy as well, so they're trying to master and limit the amount of energy consumption for the Super Saiyan forms. That drawback does appear to be the case here for Frieza's Golden Frieza form, and so Frieza no longer has the strength to defeat Goku. Now, Goku kind of knocks Frieza back, and Frieza's kind of like catching his breath, and Sorbet is over on the side there and kind of like calls to Frieza, and like you see Frieza tells Sorbet something, but like you can't hear what Frieza says. Like, it kind of like zooms in on Frieza's face, and you see Frieza's mouth moving, but there's no sound or anything for it. And then Sorbet smiles and says, okay. And then at this point, Goku is kind of he walks up to Frieza and standing over Frieza, and he's like, this fight is done. I got you. You want to fight some other time, I'll be glad to fight you. Goku being a little too relaxed, considering, again, as of right now, Piccolo was still killed by Frieza, so, we've seen enough from Frieza. Goku, I know your heart is in the right place, my man, but Frieza is someone who's not going to change, you just gotta get rid of him. And Goku powers down from his Super Saiyan Blue form just into his normal form while he's talking, and then, of course, from behind, Sorbet hits him with a little laser blast, which critically injures Goku. And this is touched more upon, you remember Whis talking about Goku's weakness, how he tends to drop his guard, and he's confident to the point of cockiness or arrogance. And, it looks like from behind, Sorbet was able to defeat Frieza, just like in the Resurrection of Frieza movie. And Frieza kind of taunts Goku yeah, I know your weakness. And Beerus and Whis kind of comment yeah, that's Goku's problem. That's what he does. And Beerus is yeah, Frieza's more sneaky than he is evil. And Frieza's walking in, just about to finish Goku off. He starts to prepare a death beam. And just at that moment, Vegeta shoots a blast in. Frieza has to back up to dodge it. And then the camera zooms in up on Vegeta, and he smiles and says, I'm tagging in now. So we know what the fuck is gonna happen next episode, baby. The boss is jumping in. And just a note, there is a new ending. It's okay. It seems very, very short compared to a lot of other anime closings. Song's okay. I like the song a lot better in the last one. And then in the preview for the next episode, it does indeed appear as though next time will be the final episode of the Resurrection of Frieza arc, and we're gonna get to see Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. I'm definitely pumped for that.